Namaste everyone. Raelene Byrne, medicine for your spirit, coming from the beautiful Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. Welcome to my little world. Boy, we're in November already, and I just said to someone just a few moments ago, it's like waking up the other morning, the 1st of November, and going, what happened to October? Like, have we had it? Have we lived it? It was a huge month. It was really big. So I've pulled a card for a general theme for November for all of us, whoever's listening. And the card that came out is this one. I used the liquid crystal deck. It's one of my favourite personal decks. I don't do too many public things with it, but this one here, I think you can see, it's the energy, the crystal energy of zircon. And zircon is all about life changes. It's also around trusting ourselves. So the best way to describe what the essence of this means, zircon, life changes, is to look at the animal that's affiliated with this energy, which is a spider. Now, most people freak out about spiders, but in different cultures around the world, they look to the spider as, grandmother spider, the energy that wove the universe into reality. There's a lot of mythology around spiders. And in my humble little place on this planet, I had the great privilege to watch a golden orb spider in my backyard. If you want to Google them, they're quite big, in her web for 3 months. I had a morning cup of tea every morning with this spider. I just sit and watch her. And this is what I learned. Spiders create their webs. That is their universe. That is their world. And they don't leave the web to go looking around at all the other spiders' webs to see what the others are doing. They don't. They create their universe, their world, and they stay in it. Now, if anything lands in their web that doesn't have a life force, like a stick or a feather or, a leaf, the spider knows it's in the web. It feels it land, but it doesn't pay attention because it doesn't support and sustain it. That's why a lot of spiders' webs are messy. They don't care about stuff that doesn't support or sustain them. But if something lands in their web that has a life force, they pay attention immediately. Immediately. They will either go and wrap some webbing around the critter that falls into their web, or they'll inject them with their eggs, or they'll suck the gizzards out, whatever the heck they do, but they will pay attention. So what this 3-month journey watching this spider every day for me taught me was, for us to change, if we want change in our world and we want change in ourselves, then we only need to pay attention to what supports and sustains us. What are your values? What are your principles? What are your intentions? Where do you want to be in life? We pay attention to how that supports and sustains us, and everything else is irrelevant. Beautiful journey. I'll talk a little bit about that more later. I have a caller from Connecticut, Kathy. Hi, Kathy, it's Raelene here. How can I help, support, offer guidance for you today?
I would like to get a general reading to lift my spirit.
Sorry, can you say that again?
A general reading to lift my spirit.
Okay, what does Spirit want you to know?
What was that?
Are you wanting a reading to lift your spirits? Okay,
Yes.
let's have a look at what we can do for you. I've got these beautiful cards. They're very practical, very universal. So just let me call in the lineage of mystics and mysticism and the lineage of healers and ancient healers and ancient healing to activate through this, to give a message for Kathy for the upliftment of her spirit, but also to lighten her up. So let's see what we're going to do here for her. Where is she at right now? This is where she's at right now. So you're out of balance. You're out of harmony with yourself. That's the first thing. So what probably a really good thing for you to look at for yourself right now is to manage your thoughts. Have a look at what you're thinking, what lower thoughts there could be that are keeping you in a heavier sort of energy. One of the things that I try and teach people all the time and remind them of, it's not even teaching, it's reminding them, is that everything we think, say, feel and do, it is our responsibility to lift that to a level of where we want to be. Now, we're going to have good days, we're going to have bad days. Sometimes the bad days mean we've just got to take really good care of ourselves, do things that nourish us a little bit more. So the first thing, where you're at right now, the energy I'm getting is you're out of balance or out of harmony with yourself. You're more in the heaviness, and it's understandable with what's going on the planet right now. It's so much change going on. There is so much conflict, so much divisiveness. But we have to come to the oneness within ourselves. And one of my big things I'm writing about at the moment is, when does the us and them become the we? And when we start to pull ourselves together to become whole in ourselves, that affects what's going on around us. So the first thing for you is to start looking at what you're thinking about yourself, what you're saying to yourself. And if you're feeling really low and icky, then it's time to start looking at how you can be more nourishing and more nurturing to yourself. That's the first thing. The second energy that's coming out for you is this one, which is expression. So this is about coming out. This is about you coming out, like speaking up, speaking out, saying what you need, asking for support, asking for help, really starting to bring out what's trapped inside. And sometimes we feel unsafe actually speaking the words, so write it out. You don't have to give it to anyone. You can just write it out and then read back, and you can let it go, burn it, let it go. But this feels like there's a part of you, when I'm looking at this, there's a part of you that is wanting to emerge, but you're just not sure how it looks yet, or what it is, or what the expression is. So start to sit with it, maybe write it out. If you're not good at writing, turn your recording device on your phone, or, you know, if you've got a recording device, and speak it out. Just let it pour out of you. That's the next thing. The next one, which is the outcome, is this. This has been coming up all the time for everyone. Self-esteem. This is how, and I just said it at the start, this is how we feel about ourselves, how we talk about ourselves, how we take care of ourselves. So what I'm going to give you, and I've spoken about this before, is a really beautiful daily declaration. I'm not into affirmations, I'm into declarations. It's a statement, it's a command, it's an order. And it comes from a place of power within yourself. And it's simply this: every day, today, I value myself and all that I am. I am willing to do what it takes. And you stand in this very solid, grounded energy and command that of the universe. It really is a standing in the universe. Today, I value myself and all that I am. Because we're the only ones responsible for how we feel. And we're the ones who have control over our thinking. So bit by bit, step by step, this is really important for you to pay attention to. It's about you starting to feel better about yourself. Sitting with yourself, breathing, writing or expressing, and doing things that make you feel a little bit more nourished and nurtured is the first step. But really looking at the thoughts, the repetitive thoughts, and remembering that what's going on in the world around us is something that has to happen. It's falling apart because it has to. And if we're really affected by it, we have to look at what part of us isn't whole, what part of us are we fighting with in ourselves. When we find the peace within ourselves and the oneness, the wholeness, the we that we are, then we're able to see what's going on in the world from a different perspective, and we tend to be more unaffected because we have a stronger connection to ourselves. So I hope that's helpful for you. It's given you a bit of information on things to do and where to start, because it is up to you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions about that?
messages from, I would like any messages from my dad that passed away.
Okay, I don't do mediumship, but what I do say to people is you can sit in your own energy, close your eyes, breathe into your heart. Those loved ones of ours are always with us because they live within us. We are a part of them, so we are still connected to them. So breathe into your heart, close your eyes, and then you invite that energy of your father, that presence, that energetic imprint of him to offer you what you, in information, some message, a sign, ask for it, invite it. I don't like connecting to that side very much. That's just me. I'm more about where we're at now and how we conduct ourselves in this now to move forward. But I do know they're with us all the time. And connecting to them is as simple as that, making the space within you to invite that energy and that memory of them and that imprint of their energy to be with you. And then you ask, have you got a message for me? Is there something that I need to know? Is there some wisdom that Dad, you have for me? And sit with that and just see what bubbles up. Just see. So you can do this. And the better you start, the more you start to feel better about yourself and a little bit more in harmony with yourself, the easier it is to pay attention to what's going on in the world around us and where the messages and the signs are for us. Because sometimes these loved ones who have passed are giving us signs constantly through the things that they loved or the things that they collected or the things that they were interested in. And you'll be going through your day and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, Dad used to do that. That's them showing you that that's their presence. Okay. So thank you for calling in. I hope that was helpful. Blessings, and I do hope you start to feel better. And for everyone else, please come and visit me on my website, on Facebook, Raelene Byrne. I'm offering lots of things all the time, and I really do love to connect with people and help you remember that you are your own medicine. You have everything. See you next week.